Hi there, you guys. I'm starting off showing you a worksheet because I wanted to introduce you to what we are going to be working on this week. We are going to be looking at how to create self-portraits in the next couple of weeks. So I thought we would take a step-by-step introduction to how to draw eyes, how to draw noses, lips, and so forth. So here is the worksheet that I've attached to your lesson, and it's called the Eye Project, and it's how to draw an eye lesson steps. So we are going to go step by step with developing your eyes. So what I want to do is I want us to look at the couple of steps first, where we are going to lightly sketch the basic shape of your eye, and then add the iris and the pupil. And then go ahead and darken and outline the eye, including the eyelids. And same thing with the fourth step is to smudge some of the lines that we've drawn to give us a little bit of shading. I can also show you how to do that with pencils. And then add some little personal touches in your eye to give it that sparkly feeling that is an actual eye. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and take you to my actual drawing. So you notice I did start off with a drawing here, but I erased it because I did not love it. So I wanted to make sure that I started over again with you guys to show you exactly how to do something that you are happy with. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to first start with the outside of the eye to get the actual shape of our eye. Again, ignoring this. I'm going to start with this side then. I'm going to start with the left-hand side is the inside of our eye. And to me, it kind of reminds me of like a soft V. So if you draw a soft V sideways, then that will give you the inner part of your eye. And then we are going to draw a curved line, roughly the size of an almond. And then do the same thing on this side. And bring it to a curve there. And that is a basic eye shape, almond shape. Now your eyes might be different shapes, and I invite you to go ahead and look in the mirror to see if you do have a different shape eye. And I'm going to go ahead and put this a soft line here to kind of give us that rounded look of our eye. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do our eyelids, and ever so lightly we're going to draw a parallel line from inside of our eye, and it's not going to be too thick. Draw it to the outside, and we're going to do something very similar on top, except we're going to go ahead and we'll do that in another light line, except we're going to do a little bit thicker. So drawing a parallel line towards the center, like that. And now we're going to go ahead and jump in and create the iris and the pupil. So the iris is the larger part of the eye that holds your color. And this actually, we will not see a full circle. The top of your eye cuts off the circle of the iris. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it in a circle like this, because for me it's easier to draw a circle if I do it complete. And I'm just going to go ahead and erase this. Okay. So that shows you our iris. And then we're going to add the pupil. I'm going to do a fairly decent sized pupil, like that. We're going to come in a little bit later and we're going to color in that iris. I'm going to do just real quickly, I'm going to do an outline of the iris. And I think I've almost kind of done that, just by the way I do my circles. I kind of sketch my circles instead of doing a single line. Okay, so we got our eye and our iris and our pupil. Okay, so now we're going to go back and we don't want to forget, we do have just a slight little line here that breaks us from the outer eye to the inner eye. That's where we see the eyeballs kind of rounded inward. The eye itself looks mean. They look mad. And at this point, if you want to make adjustments to make sure that the eye looks pleasing, we're not going to go into facial gestures until later. We can. We can adjust how our eyelid looks right here. If we wanted to create a different shape, we can do that. Just like that. Mess around with that, however you'd like to see your eye look. But right now, we'll just kind of keep it at that. Okay, now what I'd like to do is I would look at the details of the iris. We want to make sure that we are showing that there is that darkness around the eye. We all seem to have like a dark outline, but I'm going to pause right now because I think I want us to all get our colored pencils. Go get your colored pencils. Okay, I got my blue. My eyes are blue, probably not this blue, but I'm going to go ahead and use this anyway. I'm going to use this blue to create a dark outline. Probably even need darker. And then I'm going to color in ever so lightly. If my eyes are light blue, they've been told that they look a little gray, sometimes green. Depends what I'm wearing. Now I'm going to have a little bit darker at the top only because my eyelid is providing a little bit of a shadow. And then let's not forget our pupil is black. So let's find black. All these colored pencils that I have look black, but they're not black. I don't know if you guys know this, but your pupil gets larger. Like when you see someone you really like or love, like a family member or a love interest, your pupil gets a little bit larger. I'm going to choose to do a small pupil. Okay, now I'm not going to do much more than that for the moment because of the color, because we're going to go in there and we're going to kind of do a little tiny bit of detail. Sometimes we can see little reflections in our eye, like, and they kind of look like lines. I'm just kind of putting a couple of lines in there, a couple of different shapes. And that's pretty much that. Then we're going to go and add some shading to our eyelids. We're going to continue to create our eyelid. Okay, we're going to go ahead and give our eyelids more lid up to the brow at this point. And then let's not forget we want to do some eyelashes. Now I'm going to start on the outside. And since it's the top lash, I'm just going to do like really wispy lines at a curve. There's our eyelash. Not loving my eye, but you know what? That's okay. And at the bottom, we're going to do smaller. And boys, you have eyelashes too, so let's not omit those. If you don't want it to be feminine, then you don't have to have them as long. but it's definitely have to include eyelashes. Okay, so we have our first eyeball. Now, here's the rule of thumb. To create the next eye, you're going to have the same distance between the eyes as this width right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pencil and I'm going to create like a measurement. That's how long my eye is. And I'm going to put it down here, make a mark, and that's where my second eye is going to be. Believe it or not, okay? You might think it's too wide, but it's not. That's how proportions of faces work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try my best to replicate that eye. What did I start with? I started with a soft V, right? Soft V. And then I created curved line. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and measure this again. And I'm going to put a mark here, because that's where the end of my eye is going to be. And draw my eye. Again, curved line. Trying to make them as symmetrical as possible. But you know what, you guys? The reality is not everyone's face is symmetrical. Now I've got that top lid. See how I'm drawing very light lines, very sketchy white lines? It allows me later to erase without seeing ghost lines until I make sure my eye looks perfect. Oh, not so bad, not so bad. But I noticed that on this side, this eye needs to come down a little bit more to match it. Maybe I'll include that as the eyelid. Okay. I've got the top eyelid. Don't forget about that line right there. Take care of the inside of the eye, and there's also one roughly over here to give us that round eyeball look. Okay, now we're going to go in here and do the iris. Remember, we did the iris, we did a full circle like this, but then we erased this top because this was under the eyelid. There's our iris, and then the pupil. How's that looking? Not bad, not bad. This eye looks a little droopier. We can fix that in a little bit though. But I think pretty much our irises look the same. So I'm going to go ahead and outline color. Color lightly the blue. Adding a little bit of dark where it appears to have a shadow in it. And then our black. Oops. That is not black, that's blue. Oh, gosh, darn it. What happened to my black? One moment. Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys, had to find my black. Where'd it go? Okay, there it is. Look at my black. Now I want to match the pupils because that would be really weird if one was smaller than the other one. Okay. Okay, now we're going to add our eyelashes. Again, we are going to do a curved line. So if you notice, I started on this side over here and I curved in towards the center. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side, curving with my eyelashes, very wispy. Oops, oh, that's not good. Curving towards the center. Sometimes we don't want the eyelashes in the middle. And then the same thing, but smaller. Okay, this is just a really quick introduction on how to do eyes. And this I'm not completely happy with, but it's a good introduction. Okay, so then we're gonna do the brow, the eyelid, taking it close to the brow. Now this is not essentially exactly the brow, this is just the lid part, and then we'll add the eyebrows at a later date. So there you have it, you guys. They're my eyes. I'm not completely finished with them, but I didn't want to take you too deep into this tutorial for our first week coming back. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you really start to make it your own eyes and not just what you see. See you guys later. Bye.